Well, good evening, everyone. On behalf of the City of Torrance and my colleagues on the City Council, I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. And before I get started, I'd like to thank my colleagues on the Torrance City Council that are all here spread out in the audience. And so let's give them a round of applause. Of course, I want to thank our city manager, Leroy Jackson, and the assistant city manager, Mary Giordano, and the city staff. Also, those who helped me today prepare my speech, Michael Smith, he's back here somewhere. Jen Chen, she's all the way in the back of the room, hiding somewhere, I think, or she's over there, right over there. And Jamie Lee, she's over here somewhere. Probably don't realize it takes a lot of people to do this, and it's not a simple event. But lastly, I would like to thank my wife, Cindy Scotto, for her unconditional support, and especially in these past 8 years. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I can't believe I'm standing here giving my final state of the city. So much has happened during my 2 terms. It's just been amazing. In just the past few days, I've talked to more reporters than I have in the whole past 8 years. But don't worry, we're going to talk about the Toyota relocation in my speech later on. And also, I want to make sure that I want to acknowledge Steve Aspel here from Redondo. I went to his State of the City. Just give him a round of applause, of course. I went to his State of the City, and I sat in the back of the room, and I was the butt of all the jokes. So with Steve tonight, you see this little device right here? I want somebody to show you how to pull the little plastic tab out and try to use it, okay? You go, oh, you got Judy next to you. She can do it for you, okay? Because later on, we're going to use this, and so you need to know how to do it, okay? Believe me, he really threw Torrance under the bus, by the way. I want you to know that. So he's lucky there was only me and a couple other people there. We actually had to leave early because it got so bad. But and his speech took about an hour and a half, so I want you to know. So I got the latitude of an hour and a half. I want to know that everybody know that. Well, even before I became a city councilman, I would have never guessed that I would have the honor to serve my community in such a vital position. So when I'd given the opportunity, I knew I had big expectations and challenges to meet. To quote an athlete, Yogi Bear, if you don't know where you're going, you'll end up someplace else. Pretty true, huh? There are so many things I hope to accomplish, but I knew with the help of staff and our community and our business partners that we could achieve anything. Even the fact that we had such a bad downturn in the economy, we still got more things done in these last 8 years than we could have all imagined. I got to thank all of you out there for that, and I'll give you guys a round of applause. You know, we have a lot of city staff here, a lot of people, and in my speech, you'll recognize that I'm going to thank them throughout it, but without their support, I could have never done all this, and they just really made me look good. I really mean that, especially Leroy and Mary. Well, one of our initial steps was to encourage public participation and involvement. And we changed the format of our city council meetings, so we have 30 minutes at the beginning of the meetings, and the residents could speak on items that are not on the agenda. The community no longer had to wait till the end of the meeting to be heard. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it was a big deal. And so by making this small change, we fostered more dialogue, and we proved to us that with greater insight into your needs and given us the opportunity to help address the concerns of the residents. Next, we wanted to bring city council meetings closer to you. So we held meetings outside the chambers to reach out to those who don't usually make it to City Hall. So far, we've had city council meetings in North Torrance, Library, D. Hardison Sports Center, South Torrance High School Gymnasium. And the Council on the Road meetings have been well attended, and we've seen new faces in the audience, which is the purpose of the meetings, and so we were very pleased with that, by the way. The city focused not only on our adults, but also, I'm proud to say, we challenged our youth by introducing Students and Government Day in the city of Torrance. Now I want to thank Cindy, my wife, and Dee Hardison, both. Let's give them a round of applause for that program. This program began with the goal of providing an opportunity to our 8th grade students to be exposed to the vital role of local government and help them consider career in public service. As we tell the students, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them to see city government at work. Next week will mark our 8th year of Students and Government Day. It's been a pleasure for all of us to interact with these great group of kids. And I got to thank exec staff and all those people that are involved with that, because they all have to take a student, and they do such a great job. Recently, I was at the mall, right across the street, and with my wife, and we ran into the father of the first mayor student. That man had a lot to say. He was so pleased to hear, I was so pleased to hear, that his son has moved on to great things. He's in an Ivy League school and has aspirations in the field of law. Now, I know that it wasn't all because of the Student and Government Day, but the father believes that we made him change course right then, which is hard to imagine. That kid was so talented anyway, but he, after seeing what we did, wanted to aspire to be a mayor. I said, you gotta make him do more than that, come on, he's great. Starting place. I would encourage the future mayor and council to continue this program, because I've seen firsthand what a positive impact it's made on our students of Torrance. I really mean that. I hope you guys don't decide to make that cut, because that would be terrible. Since taking an office, though, we've expanded our relationships with those already involved in our community. For those who've desired to become involved, the Commissioner Certification Training Program was developed. People said it couldn't be done. Our first 2 sessions were held in the fall of 2007 with a total of 119 participants who received a certificate that was valid for 2 years. Currently, we are certifying approximately 180 participants in a 2-year span. This number includes both new certifications and participants recertifying after their 2 years has expired. We have another number of people that wanted to get on our commissions that have taken the class that, we can only have 90, so we're so fortunate in the city of Torrance to have such a great group of people that are commissioners. And I know that a lot of you in the room, so the commissioners here, thank you for the great job that you do. You guys just make the city of Torrance great. And they're just one part of the volunteerism that makes Torrance a great place. This proved my belief that people in Torrance want to be involved and they want to serve our community. In running my campaign, my personal promise to all of you was to keep the public's trust, and I hope I've done that. To create more transparency in council meetings, we installed an automated voting system. This streamlined the council meetings and eliminated the perception of gamesmanship created through the roll call voting that previously was used. You probably don't realize how that is important to all of you, because if you're the 4th or 5th voter every time, you could vote any way you want and just vote the wind of the people, just saying, well, I didn't vote for that. So we got rid of that. And now when people vote, you know where they stand. So it's pretty good. It's also allowed us to post our meetings online and our website, in addition to providing paperless agendas and minutes. You can also view an archive of all of our meetings at home, work, or on your desktop, or even your mobile device. I know we all live with those nowadays, I tell you. In 2008, we adopted a strategic plan and our statement on where we wanted to be in the future and how we were going to get there, and identified the people responsible for achieving our goals. The committee also believed that the establishment of the strategic plan would help inspire Torrance residents to strive to do the best they can do, both as individuals and as members of our Torrance community. Since its inception, the City of Torrance has been working on implementing the aspects of the strategic plan and working at updating it in the very near future. The Blue Ribbon Ethics Committee was formed to develop an ethics code of conduct and policy statement for the City of Torrance. In the future, this will enable that the community was served by people who abide by the standards of integrity. Torrance Blue Ribbon Committee on Ethics and Integrity was adopted by the City Council in 2006 and was assigned the task of developing recommendations to establish a sustainable ethics programs for the City of Torrance. In 2011, the City Council created the Torrance Elections and Candidates Ethics Committee and charged the committee with producing the material to support ethical conduct of candidates in their campaigns of elective office. And now we're all in that post right now, but we're seeing what's happening. The committee developed and the council adopted a candidates ethics policy statement. Ethically, the guidelines for clarifying the roles when running for office and voluntary training program for candidates. In addition to ethics and transparency, we've grown our interactive media and resources. The establishment of e-Notify, the Torrance online events calendar, our weekly newsletter, and always growing social media, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, just to name a few, have helped us stay in touch with you on your time, at home, at school, or even your workplace. Most exciting project to develop this year is our very own City Cable Studio, our live news broadcast and blog, Newsbreak. For those you don't know, Newsbreak. Now, every Tuesday night, we're bringing our community via cable and web stream a brand new show featuring news trending in Torrance, providing viewers everything they need to know that's happening in our community, from Torrance schools to businesses to public safety, in addition to the health concerns and even events happening in town. Along the journey, we've set out to revitalize downtown Torrance. City staff also continues to meet with our local businesses and residents in the downtown area to gain consensus and final creative ways to make downtown a vital place for businesses. We've installed LED lights, and we've helped the community establish the downtown marketplace. The downtown farmers market continues to be successful with the residents, and more vendors are participating. I owe so much to the residents and the business for the success that were achieved in 8 years as mayor. In the book, Walden, written by David Thoreau, he reflects on social discoveries of society that he made through his personal perspective. He says, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. And now I feel that about Torrance. As we make a huge stride in Torrance, we've evolved into even more resilience, active and philanthropic community, and proud to be part of that. Philanthropic, I meant to say, sorry. Our history of being fiscally prudent, along with the economic master plan, has enabled Torrance to strive in the economic downturn, a long-standing, and we're standing strong today. You know, we'll never again locally have the same kind of downturn in the economy that we had in 2008. And the fact that the city of Torrance has come through that so strong and balanced budget every year is amazing. And I owe that also to my council and thank them for being a part of that. Unemployment rates have dropped since last year. The most recent comparable numbers of March 2014 show that Torrance has an unemployment rate of 4.3% and continues to hold its own compared to the county, which is at 8.7%, and the state at 8.1%, and the nation at 6.7%. Employment continues to have a slow recovery elsewhere, but everywhere in the region, California saw job growth this last year. Projects such as the new Ferrari dealership, Mazda dealership, Audi dealership, Torrance Memorial Hospital, Wendy's, the Lamo Fashion Center, and others will generate significant construction revenues that will help the city in the next fiscal year. In 2013, an average of 540 newly licensed businesses opened in the city of Torrance every 3 months. I'll back up again. 540 through every 3 months in the city of Torrance. Imagine that, yeah. News of the retail sales are positive. As the national retail sales grew approximately 3.8% year over year, we are cautiously optimistic that the economy will continue a slow and steady increase. We are having our first budget workshop hearing on May 13th at 7 p.m. and welcome all of you to attend to that. Torrance would not be who we are today without the help of the community partners we have in this room. In the past 8 years, Torrance Unified School District has remained a cornerstone of excellence of education. Even during the economic downturn, TUSD students have continued to excel, and the district as a whole has continued to succeed year after year. Torrance students are constantly being recognized for their accomplishments. And if you guys have been watching council meetings, you'd see that. Their athletes and academics have just been incredible. And a lot of teachers and principals in the room, and I got to thank them for doing such a fine job. TUSD schools are the recipient of both accolades of the California Distinguished Schools and the National Achievement of Blue Ribbon Schools. You know, but student success is fostered through exceptional educators, and our teachers are recognized both nationally and by their peers. The City of Torrance recognizes the quality and compassion healthcare partners because the great hospitals and medical facilities set such a high standard in the City of Torrance. I get to sit with Liz from Providence. Providence Little Company Marriott Medical Center, Torrance, has continued to play a vital role in our community. In 2013, until now, they have delivered 3,350 babies. And they've treated over 94,000 people in their ER. That's unbelievable. Celebrating their success, three-peat, the Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center of Torrance was named the nation's 100 top hospitals by Truett Health. That's another round of applause for them. Give them. That's an annual study aimed at improving the cost and quality of healthcare, and it's the third year in a row they've won that. In addition, they have achieved the Leapfrog Group's A rating for patient safety and health grades Distinguished Hospital Award for clinical excellence. It's incredible. The Little Company of Mary has done such an incredible job here. Most recently, to aid their great medical care, Providence Little Company of Mary set out to give its patients a hotel-like experience. Last month, they unveiled the new patient cuisine. In-room service for all patients with meal selections and designed to appeal to everybody's palate and dietary specifications. Vegetarians, diabetics, or dairy-free or more, they could have it all for you. And you can order right in your room. It's like being in a hotel. You don't want to be there, but it's like being in a hotel. You know, it's funny because I joke about that, and you know, worst places to go is to the hospital. But I tell you, but you can't imagine how fortunate we all are to have two great hospitals in our community that, you know, God forbid you need them, they're there. And we have the best in the South Bay, or best in Southern California. Forget the South Bay. Yeah. You know, but providing options to our community has always been important to Torrance. It seems like just yesterday, it was March 2011, and Torrance Memorial Hospital broke ground on what will soon serve as the new 7-story Lundquist Tower on Lomita Boulevard. 2014 promises to be a big year. Stay tuned September when the entire community will be invited to tour the state-of-the-art facility, which will open in November. Of course, it would not be possible without the generous donation of many, but most notably, $50 million gift from Melanie and Richard Lundquist. Let's give them a round of applause. Right there. A lot of money. The Medical Center also recently received one of the U.S. News and World Report's highest health care honors. The Torrance Memorial continues to serve its nonprofit mission. This includes providing more than $60 million in services and subsidies to people of the South Bay. A short list of these programs and partners include Kids in Fitness, which tackles children's wellness, Healthy Ever After, which provides free nutritional education in elementary schools, and Harbor Interface Service, which assists the homeless and working poor. To manage the growing healthcare needs in our community, late last year, Medical Center expanded its reach with the introduction of Torrance Memorial Health System. The name change of the Medical Center governing body stems from the recognition of the growth and understanding of the changing healthcare landscape and the desire to remain a locally based organization that continues to meet the needs of the community for the next 90 years. And Craig is in the back of the room, sir. There he is right there. Right, give your hand. In addition to the great healthcare providers, our city has been able to provide a diverse number of programs and services to the community. I have to commend our dedicated city employees, and of course, our great city manager, Leroy Jackson. None of you in this room, even my council colleagues, realize how much him and I talk and how much advice he's given me and got me back on path. Sometimes, you know, I'm Italian, somebody get hot-headed, and he says, you know, maybe, Mayor, you might want to look at this a different way. So, Leroy, you know, for your support and guidance and your leadership, I want to thank you so much. I think you've done a great job. And I you know, I personally don't think I could have done as good a job as mayor if there was somebody else as a city manager. But in addition to that, another person that I really want to thank is Mary Giordano, the assistant city manager, and all the executive staff who have helped us accomplish so much with so little. So thank all of you guys right there. I think that the whole exec staff is here tonight, so nobody else is watching the city. That's why I'm not getting any emails, is that right? Even with the economic downturn, we've been able to achieve major projects, including the Del Amo Boulevard extension, the residential slowly closed seal program, and various intersection enhancements. You know, it sounds like a little thing, intersections enhancements. We're trying to correct the traffic in the city, but it's going to take a long time and a lot of effort, but every little piece makes it better. Our staff continues to be resourceful, and they provide our community with the tools that improve our quality of life. Torrance Fire Department has made tremendous strides over the last 8 years. One of the high priorities for our citizens is public safety, and one of the components of the puzzle is paramedic service. In the past 8 years, the fire department has added an additional paramedic rescue, R95, which increased our paramedic units to 5. Also with this addition, we were able to assign a paramedic to every fire engine. So not only do we have 5 paramedics vehicle, but we have a paramedic in every fire engine now too, which means that every fire engine is dispatched to an incident that will provide advanced life support services with a licensed paramedic. There's nobody around us that does that, guys. It's just incredible. During this period, the fire department celebrated its 100-year anniversary and once again attained the status of an ISO Class 1 fire department. That's only one fire department of 56 in the whole United States, over 14,000 chief or 16,000 fire departments. That's incredible. This level of protection has proven fire loss, it kept fire loss to a minimum while saving the equivalent of 95% of the average structure value from damage. You know, we all watch the news at night, and we see fires in LA. When the news are there, the buildings burn down to the ground. And that's because our response times are so incredible. And when we get to a fire, we're able to fight the fire because we have the resources right there. And let me tell you, that's a huge budgetary problem for us, but that's something that all of us in this audience want. And that's something that we're so pleased that not only this council, but previous councils were involved in that. So I got to thank all of them too for that. But notable achievements. The department partnership with the Community Development and Public Works and successfully implemented the NPDES. That's right. The National Pollutant Discharge and Elimination System Inspection Program. I know none of you knew what that is, but if you're in business, you know what that is. This is a chamber event. This is important to those guys. The goal of the program is to provide a positive education and outreach to our customers as they prevent pollutants from entering the storm drains. Last year, we were successfully completed 100% of these inspections. Hand in hand with great fire department, our police department has continued to implement its focus-based policing philosophy throughout the year, and the department focused its attention on problem solving, community partnerships, and crime prevention strategies. Working in their new state-of-the-art forensic lab, our forensic investigators have also been busy as they work in 2013 led them to recover 500 fingerprint lifts from crime scenes, which resulted in 116 suspects being identified. Overall, the Torrance Police Department detectives successfully cleared 83% of all violent crimes reported in 2013. This number continues to be well above the state and the county average. Our detectives successfully cleared 49% of all crimes reported to the police department, which simply means suspects are being located, arrested, and brought to justice. You know, the bad guys want to commit a crime in Redondo and drive through Torrance? I had to do that. He's over there. He did the opposite, but I was sitting in the opposite. Yeah. Actually, that's pretty funny when you say that because we all know if a crime is committed in another city and these guys are not smart enough to realize they have to avoid Torrance, they're going to get caught. They're going to get caught. This type of success couldn't have been achieved without the help of our community. Everyone has been actively engaged in public safety and willing to report suspicious activities to our police department. Our motto is, see something, say something. And let me tell you, that's really what makes Torrance unique. You have a crime committed in another city that's around us, typical residents don't want to point out the bad guys. And our residents help our police department significantly to do that. The police department's gang enforcement team continues its proactive work in the South Bay Task Force as I relentlessly monitor and conduct checks on residents who've been found guilty of a crime but qualify to be released under AB 109 for the post-release community supervision. Now, you all know that this is a huge problem, and last year I spent 2 or 3 pages talking about this, and this has been going on where our state has to release prisoners back to our society, and City of Torrance, we welcome them and we go talk to them. And we have our gang guys make sure they know they're back in Torrance, and we don't want to have to rearrest you, but unfortunately, because of that, we have rearrested a number of these people, and we're so very proactive, and I got to tell you, the police department has done an incredible job. The most recent update in our police department is the appointment of Mark Matsuda as our new police chief. Mark has distinguished himself in a variety of command level positions, including patrol, personnel, and special operations. Mark, unfortunately, he's a UCLA guy. I mean, it can't be perfect. Come on. It can't be perfect. He's actively engaged both in the front and the behind scenes in providing the highest standard and the optimum public safety. His excellence interpersonal skills, enhance his ability to provide solid, reliable leadership to the department, and be a significant asset to our community. The leadership in our police department has really set us up for success. Torrance ranked 14th on the FBI list of the safest cities with populations over 100,000. And sorry, guys, I have to point you out, but their whole table in the back is our city's finest, right back there. Give them a run around. Not an easy task, as you think about that, being 14th in the nation. That's huge. And I'm sure largely in part because of the high levels of safety and security, livability.com has ranked us 33rd in the top 100 places to live in the nation. And I think a lot of you know this, but when that came out, I had to write a letter to the editor of that because they made a mistake. We should have been at the top 10. And they ranked us on the lowest, now it's hard to believe, I know this, but they ranked us lowest in Torrance for the medical facilities we have in the city. And the lady says, oh, we didn't know you had any hospitals in Torrance. Kidding me? But they wouldn't change it. Once they print it, they won't change it. So I had to write a letter to the editor, and they published it, which was cool, so everything is good. So, of course, I said that I thought we should be in the top 5. They didn't like that, but just face it, that category of the medical facilities, they ranked us literally the lowest. Everything else we were the top. And so that one category would have put us in the top 5. And when I told her about Little Company, Torrance Memorial, Harbor UCLA, and all these different things, they were shocked. I said, you got to do your homework, guys, come on. In 2013 was a big year for economic development, with the office partnering closely with the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, the Pacific Gateway Workforce Investment Network, El Camino College Training Center, California Manufacturing Technology Consultants, and the Torrance Area Chamber. To just name a few, let's give the Torrance Chamber a round of applause. And by the way, I'll point her out, Fran Fulton's right over there, our Director of Economic Development right there. The office focused on the Discover Torrance Tourism Business Improvement District. The initiative to bring visitors and their wallets to our hotels and shops. The South Bay Entrepreneurial Center opened this to help new businesses and business models. The focus has been on establishing Torrance as a green city and an alternate fuel hub for the South Bay and the greater Los Angeles. We're also working closely with the auto dealers in Torrance to establish the Torrance Auto Dealers Association. I'm hoping that within the next 6 months we'll have that up and going. The Office of Economic Development also is working hard to focus on the new industries and form new partnerships to attract exciting businesses and city-wide events, but priority still remains with you, our businesses that are here in Torrance today. The team can offer all of you guys assistance in selections of business locating for new locations, or help financing assistance, or access resources and tools with partnerships with other organizations, and assistance in permitting and on-the-job training, wage subsidies and recovery, and the business solutions such as signage, marketing, and grant writing. Some of you guys got to use this. The Office of Economic Development is considered the city's liaison to the business community. Our staff is here to help you start, grow, and your business in the city of Torrance. Our longtime partner, Simon Property Group, is well on their way with a comprehensive redevelopment of the Lamo Fashion Center. Yeah, all the shoppers in the audience are all excited. Over the past year, Simon replaced the existing food court with an upgraded gardens-inspired dining experience. Let me tell you, I've been there many times. You guys got to go. It's good. It's a beautiful area with a good example of what's to come. In the next phase of the transformation, we'll replace and expand the original North Mall that was built in the 1960s. Actually, when you came here, you could have looked across the street and saw the demolition. The demolition's already begun and the rebuilt in the north area of the Del Amo Fashion Square, including the new Nordstrom's. Redondo's still pissed about that. There's no man. Well, you know, we're pretty excited about getting Nordstrom's, I tell you, because not only that we're getting Nordstrom's as a store, but they are going to attract a number of other large box stores that we're all going to be excited. I'm not a shopper, I'll admit that. So but some of you in the audience will like to know that. They plan to be open by the end of 2015. I couldn't be more pleased with that progress. And you know that you're going to see a lot of things here real soon with a ribbon cutting in the next month with the north part of the mall, and you're going to get a lot of an update of really what's going on there. You'll see it real soon. The Torrance Transit Center, though, continues its mission to provide safe and reliable, inexpensive, and courteous service to our customers. You notice how I keep on saying customers? Because we got to think of it that way. The city of Torrance has got to think of itself as a business. And the people that are the residents are our customers, and we got to treat them like customers, courteously and with respect. You know, that's something that when I first became mayor, I'll never forget this. I became mayor, and I told Leroy, I said, Leroy, I want to have a meeting with all the managers in the city. I never seen so much panic on his face. He goes, oh my God, what do you want to talk about? And I go, well, you know, do you want to talk to him? And one of the things we want to talk about is customer service and how we treat the residents that way. And because of that, the city of Torrance has gone a long ways to promote customer service with people. Now, it's never going to be perfect. You got to realize with 1,300 employees, it's hard to make everybody the perfect employee. I have that problem too. People who live and work and do business in the city of Torrance know how much work we've done to make that change. On October 25th, 2012, the official kickoff of the high occupancy toll express lanes project in the Line 3 rapid bus service with the Los Angeles County Metro Transit Authority and Bus Riders Union started. We also continued to move forward with the Torrance Transit Park and Ride Regional Transit Terminal. Now, it's one of those things I wish it was done before I left as mayor, but it's going to start this summer, and somewhere next year, hopefully it'll be done. This project will interface with a rapid service and an existing light rail that's going to stop in Redondo first and then come to Torrance. Well, but wait a minute, they didn't build their transit center here. What happened there? Is envisioned to have level boarding platforms for transit vehicles. Yeah, I had to do this, guys. You don't know what I really went through a lot. The state-of-the-art passenger information kiosks and maps and parking spaces for the rideshare program and carpool participants will have enhanced shelters and fare vending machines and public restrooms. That facility is going to be truly, and Kim's smiling from ear to ear because she's so excited. Kim's our transit director. You know, we really need that in the city of Torrance. We've had 8 years, 10 years, a long time without a transit center, and this place is really going to be something that you guys are going to love. We're going to have meeting rooms in there you're going to be able to use, and so it's going to be something we're all going to be very proud of. The construction is anticipated to start this summer, and I'm hoping that it will finish about 12 months. On the other means of transportation, we're extremely proud and honored to have clean air technology advancements developed in our city. With General Motors Advanced Technology Center, where the Chevy Volt research is conducted, Landy Rizzo USA and Honda headquarters are here too. We found ourselves in the midst of emerging green technology. In 2012, we received our very own set of green wheels from American Honda. And American Honda people are here. Let's give them a round of applause. Steve, put your hand up. You're somewhere. Oh, there he is. There's Steve Amerikawa. There he is. In a unique relationship with their Fit EV research program, the city of Torrance, along with Google and Stanford University, provided feedback about their all-electric vehicle. And I personally got to drive it a number of times. I think it's really cool. It's good. Our particular study of the Honda Fit EV included the charging infrastructure development. It excites me to see the business community participating in sustainable energy strategies. Regrettably, this week, Yeah, I had to get there eventually, you know. You know, again, a tough week, been a tough week. Regrettably this week, though, we had to address an unfortunate and disappointing news that Toyota Motor Sales USA would be leaving Torrance to consolidate their operation in Plano, Texas. Now, Michael's here, and I don't mean to make fun of this, but it's kind of appropriate, Plano, Texas, you know. I'm sorry, Michael, I had to do it. You know, when Toyota was built, its current headquarters in 1982, the city made every effort to welcome their expansions. As the campus grew, we did our proactive and supportive relationship with Toyota, and right up until Monday we were doing that, and I think it's going to continue. I had a discussion with Toyota and Michael. All the work that they do for our charities is going to continue on for a long time. Michael will be a part of that, so let's give those guys a round of applause. Torrance's business-friendly environment, expediting permits, and close relationship with management, and maintaining a safe and secure community has allowed Toyota to expand its campus and improve the delivery of products throughout the United States. Toyota will always have a place in Torrance. In fact, in March, we dedicated a 6.2 state-of-the-art Toyota Sports Complex. And Michael, we hope that name's up there forever. Within the city of Torrance, we have more than 15,000 youth currently using city parks and sports practices and games. 15,000. It's anticipated that the current demand for sports uses will continue to increase in the future. It is critical that this facility was developed to meet the future sporting needs of our citizens. You know, a lot of people criticize when we built this facility, says it's a lot of money. But you know, with the city of Torrance, we brag about how we're so into youth and everything, and we really didn't have a facility like that. And I hope that years to come that we do find the money to build other places like that. I can honestly say that this has been one of the most fulfilling projects that I've personally been a part of during my term as your mayor. You know, a person that's been a part of youth sports for a long time, almost 40 years. I've never got the opportunity to either coach or referee on a facility like we built. And so I am so pleased that we were able to do that. And I got to thank my council, because I know that they take heed at times when we spend money like that, but it was critical, and they all understood how important it was. With the final departure of Toyota in 2017, we will welcome any new business that wish to expand and call Torrance their home. We understand that the relocation may affect our smaller businesses too. With the loss of Toyota's 3,000 employees, our businesses may feel an impact in lunch sales, hotel stays, and retail purchases. Now, I'm not going to share any numbers with you, but talking to both our major hotels, one that we're in today and one across the street, it's a significant loss in room nights, a lot of room nights. However, this is not new to Torrance. People are really panicked. They call me and send me emails. What are we going to do? You know, again, I told you how great and strong our unemployment base is and how many people work in the city of Torrance. But you know, as a very young city, we went through the same problem. Torrance experienced a change when Union Tool Company in 1920, after 9 years in Torrance, Union Tool Company employed 500 people and then sold to Armco National Supply, making National the world's largest manufacturer of oil well equipment. The following year, when oil was discovered in Torrance, the payroll climbed to 1,100 employees. Now, back then, 1,100 employees is a lot of people. After 75 years of manufacturing oil drilling equipment, industrial stills products at Western and Carson, the final chapter of the heavy manufacturing industry in Torrance ended when Armco closed its doors in 1985. 1985, headlines in the paper, Torrance is ruined. The vacant lot, or the vacant property, caused some concern. The city was hopeful about new developments and possibly leading to an industrial park and business that would emit less noise, smoke, or fumes. But today, Western part of the property houses the headquarters for Sunrider International. The eastern portion of the shopping center and the office complex includes Miyako Hotel. We are resilient and we're proactive. I can guarantee you that already hard at work exploring what's in store for us in the next chapter. I know it's hard for you to believe this, I realize that, but since Monday, we've already received several inquiries about the Toyota property. It's not our property, it's Toyota's, and as well as other spaces in the city of Torrance. We've gotten calls from some unusual people, let me tell you, surprised, very surprised. The property value is going up for Toyotas, there's no doubt about it. But we've had calls from a major aerospace company, a restaurant supply company, and some other very interested parties that I can't tell you. We can accept the challenge of the growing new opportunities with new corporations. There's no doubt about it. And we have to learn that. We have to be able to turn the page and understand that. Torrance has embarked on a new industry, craft beers. Torrance was named the best city in 2013 by LA Weekly. Many microbreweries have recently opened up in the shop in the city of Torrance, joining 13-year-old Red Car Brewery located in downtown. Other brewing company, Strand Brewing Company, opened its doors in 2010 in the industrial portion located off Lomita and Crenshaw and hired its first employee in 2012. A couple of years later, Monkish Brewery followed suit to round out 6 breweries, Dudes, Smog City Brewing, and most recently, last Thursday or Friday, Absolution was named Torrance their home. Got to go check that out, guys. They have some unusual names in their beers, let me tell you. Mortal Sin, things like that. Absolution, get it? Absolution, Mortal Sin, Purgatory. According to LA Weekly's, Torrance easily possesses the largest concentration of beer brands in the greater Los Angeles. I'm expecting to have beer tours very soon. From the Red Car's South Bay IPA to the Strand's classic 24th Street Pale Ale, the diverse range of quality craft beers coming out of Torrance has put the South Bay's largest city on the map for sud seekers. Yes. 2014 was a year of change in Torrance. As the long-serving elected officials are stepping down and new faces and new ideas are stepping up to ask your vote, as I mentioned earlier, an ethics program has been set in motion, and I call all of the Torrance residents to get involved, get informed, and make informed decisions about who you're going to vote for. Engaged voters are the foundation of democracy. To promote an even more involved voters, we've approved the next generation in the city's already active ethics program. Focused on the upcoming June 3rd municipal election, the Torrance Votes program will engage the community more robustly in considering their next mayor, 4 councilmen, and the city clerk. Our city treasurer likely will serve 4 more years because she's unopposed, and she's sitting right down here somewhere. There she is, right there. The city of Torrance has a long history of programs to increase the caliber of public service, such as core training for municipal employees and campaign finance reform measures. The most recent Blue Ribbon Committee and 2 previously elected ethics-related committees provided a forum for the discussion of common ideologies that reflect the expectations of the Torrance community. The tenets of the ethics policy for candidates for elective office focused on the goals of responsible, being honest, trustworthy, respectful, and transparent. On April 24th, our city clerk, where's Sue? Sue right there. On April 24th, our city clerk presented the City Clerks Association of California Award for Distinction for Voter Outreach. This prestigious award and honor is one of the highest awards offered by the CCAC. Torrance Votes Community Outreach Program promotes the education of voting public on the candidates and local politics while being neutral, impartial, and nonpartisan. I challenge you all to go and vote torrancecavotes.gov and check it out. .org, sorry. She always corrects me, even in the council meetings, so I'm used to it. It's okay. This program respects the right of each voter to their own unique political, ethical, and moral ideology. I urge you to all visit torrancevotes.org to stay informed on your Torrance candidates. Challenge you to go home tonight, bring it up in your computer and check it out. There's a lot of things there you might be interested in. Remember, the voter registration deadline is upcoming on May the 19th, 2014. It's right around the corner. The polls on June 3rd will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, why am I saying this at a state of the city? Really important that we elect good people to replace myself and 4 new council people. So I'm trusting all of you to get informed. Read the candidate statements. Explore the candidates. Check out their history. Research their campaigns. It's all there. You have one job to do in democracy, and that's to vote. I expect in this room 100% participation in voting, by the way, guys. You guys are informed. You should know. Another way for you to stay active in our community is to be a volunteer. Back in January, the Torrance Rose Float Association, together with the Fiesta Parade Floats, created a beautiful float entitled Everyone Plays, which was very warmly received by the 125th Pasadena Tournament of Rose Parade. The float celebrated the 50th anniversary of AYSO, American Youth Soccer Organization, in Torrance. And Torrance is the birthplace of AYSO, and featured former professional soccer star and acclaimed television broadcaster Kobe Jones. The float was primarily funded through 2 generous donations, $100,000 from AYSO and $10,000 from Ace Clearwater Enterprises. In this July, we're going to continue our partnership with AYSO as one of the hosts of the 2014 AYSO National Games. As many of you must know already, I'm a longtime AYSO volunteer. It gives me great pleasure to be able to host the National Games in our city. In 2014, the National Games is expected to include up to 500 teams for a week-long soccer tournament and festival. It will generate economic impact as much as $10 million. We're well on our way in planning stages and hope that you, our business community, can help us welcome the out-of-town guests with open arms. And I know you will, because it's going to be a financial impact to you. If your business is interested in helping make this great first impression to our guests, you can contact the Office of Economic Development and do so. If you're an individual and you would like to volunteer, you go to eayso.org and click on I am new to AYSO and want to volunteer. And you got to fill the form out, but it's really simple. Volunteerism has been a huge part of what makes Torrance who we are today. We all witnessed the community come together for our centennial celebration. In 2013 alone, the city had over 3,500 volunteers who donated over 70,000 hours of service delivered to the Torrance community. Volunteers allow the city to increase the efficiency of its internal operations along with the enhancement of the individual skills of those who volunteered. It is a privilege and an honor to serve with groups and individuals who have given their time and talents and enthusiasm to make our community a more enjoyable and flourishing environment to live and work. But recently, we presented 2 of our most recent Jared Cindy Torrance awardees. Individually, both longtime volunteers of the city, Maureen O'Donnell and Hazel Taniguchi. We're honored for their countless amounts of volunteer work and many positive ways they've impacted the city of Torrance. You know, I got to tell you, I know both these people pretty well, and if we wanted to aspire to someone that has really done something for the communities, these people, when I read their bios, I couldn't believe it. It was very humbling, let me tell you. And I thought I did a lot of things with my wife, but nothing compared to these two. We're so lucky to have model citizens like that in our community to take great pride in honoring them today. Volunteerism has become a tradition in the city of Torrance. One of the newest traditions highlighted some of Torrance's bravest volunteers, our hometown heroes. The Hometown Heroes program highlights the community's veterans in addition to those currently serving in our armed forces. In fact, in May 16th through the 18th, we will continue our tradition of heroes being honored at our 55th annual Armed Forces Day Parade and Celebration. For 55 years, it's been our way of celebrating the soldiers, airmen, Marines, sailors, and Coast Guardsmen for their generosity and courage that enables us to live freely in this nation as they protect democracy ideals on which our country was founded. You know, we take that so lightly. When our chief was up here doing the pledge, and by the way, today, we've been in this room since this morning with National Day of Prayer, and Dan was here with that, and so a lot of others here, but the fact that we do this for 55 years in our city, we're so proud to do that for our heroes that have been in the armed forces, and so I'm very pleased that the city of Torrance has been able to do this for all this time, even when it wasn't favorable. In addition to this new tradition, another one's emerged. Last year, we witnessed the swearing in of over 500 recruits during our parade. This year, we're expecting a record number of over 1,000 heroes. Torrance means so many different things to us as individuals. To some, it may mean a place in passing on the way to LAX or Disneyland. To others, that place with a real big mall with shoppers. To me, Torrance is a great place that I call my home and a place to work. The city where I started my family and watched it grow. Over the past year, coming out of the great centennial celebration, Torrance has emerged as LA Week's best beer city in 2013, where we are number 33 on livability.com's best place to live. We are number 5 in real estate blog, mobile creative mid-sized cities. We are number 6 on my.com's best mid-sized city for food lovers. We are 14th on the FBI list of safest cities. We are Torrance. There's a famous saying, be the change you want to see in the world. Just 1 month, I'll be no longer have the honor of being your mayor. I knew I should have cut this paragraph out, but but as I leave office, I'll leave a part of me behind too. There's part of me that will continue to carry a torch for volunteerism and the community involved. A torch that, despite my term ending, will still carry a light for volunteers past, present, and for future. So tonight, somebody's helping you, Steve, I hope. I urge you in joining me to continue the Volunteers Crusade that makes Torrance what it is today, the city with a hometown feel. So as I light my torch, I ask you to take the same pledge to give back to our community the rightful tool and take back Torrance, because we are and always will be Torrance. I want to thank you all.